where a 2-year-old girl was found dead. Lalo Castillo is charged with child abuse resulting in death.
So just protect your babies with all of, like you can with, wrap your babies in your arms and even if I guess you ever have questions for the grieving mothers, I'll be here for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in life, we face many challenges that test our strength and resilience. But perhaps the most difficult challenge of all is the loss of a loved one. The loss of a loved one is a chapter of our story that we cannot escape. It's a journey through pain, grief, and emotional turmoil. However, what happens if a camera manages to capture a moment of that beloved individual long after they have passed away? For years, we have been captivated by the mysteries of the supernatural. Tales of ghostly apparitions have haunted our imaginations, leaving us wondering if there is more to this world than meets the eye. Ladies and gentlemen, today's content also revolves around one such story. The heartwarming story of Faviola Rodriguez unfolded in the quiet expanse of a New Mexico cemetery, as a grieving mother's faith was put to the ultimate test when an unbelievable incident turned her world upside down. As the sun dipped below the horizon of one fateful day, a shimmer of light caught the mother's eye when she witnessed a security camera footage that left her breathless. Faviola Rodriguez had turned 2 when she died in September 2018 under suspicious circumstances while in the care of her mom's boyfriend, Lalo Anthony Castrillo. Medical staff said that the little girl had bruising on her head, face, and ribs, and Castillo was arrested on child abuse charges.
Where a 2-year-old girl was found dead. Lalo Castillo is charged with child abuse resulting in death.
The entire situation took an unexpected turn when the mother of the toddler, Sandra Gonzalez, reached out to the cemetery officials at Masonic Cemetery in Las Cruces, New Mexico, about experiencing issues with individuals stealing things from her daughter's grave. Various possessions, such as toys and personal belongings, had mysteriously disappeared, prompting Sandra to request the cemetery's assistance monitoring the situation. Steps away from Faviola's burial site is the gravesite of James Bustamante, who died on November 23, 2019. His headstone is surrounded by flowers and lights that turn on when the sun sets. The family had placed a camera on a nearby headstone in Masonic Cemetery, as they were also experiencing the same issues with their son's grave being vandalized. Thinking his killer, who had not been caught yet, must be allegedly vandalizing the gravesite. After examining the video recordings from the camera in search of evidence to present to the authorities, they were troubled by what they witnessed. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to unfold the complete story. Prepare to be captivated and enthralled, because what you are about to experience will linger in your memory for a long time. The complete details of the heartwarming incident are as follows. Background: Sandra Gonzalez always dreamed of being a mom, and the dream came true on November 6, 2015, when her daughter Faviola Rodriguez was born. Faviola was delivered via cesarean section, and Gonzalez didn't meet her daughter in person until the next day. She fell in love with her immediately. "She made me a mom," Gonzalez said. On September 6, 2018, Faviola was back at the hospital. Her face and rib cage were bruised, and she was unresponsive. Emergency room doctors spent 40 minutes performing life-saving measures on the toddler before pronouncing her deceased.
People at the hospital trying to resuscitate Faviola. Those injuries were caused by medical personnel. Clearly not intentional. They were trying to help Faviola, but they were not caused by Mr. Castillo.
Gonzalez's then-boyfriend Lalo Anthony Castrillo IV, who'd been watching Faviola that night while Gonzalez was at work, was arrested the next day and charged with 1 count of intentional child abuse resulting in death. Nearly 2 years later, the case against Castrillo has yet to be resolved. He's out on bond pending trial. It's a trial that can't come soon enough for Gonzalez and her family. Gonzalez said the trial delays and Castrillo's bond hearings make her feel that Faviola isn't getting the justice or respect she deserves. She further stated that she doesn't want people to remember her daughter as the little girl who passed away from child abuse. I think that she deserves to be remembered more than that. She was always just so happy, so beautiful, her curly, kinky hair. She was always laughing and just talking to everyone. She always talked so well for her age, so that's how I would like everyone to remember her, she said.
Never stop fighting for your babies, and for those single moms, just all I can say is be careful, because you never know someone's true intentions. So just protect your babies with all of you can, with wrap your babies in your arms, and if I guess you ever have questions for the grieving mothers, I'll be here for you.
Background of the CCTV footage. It was a typical day when unexpected CCTV footage surfaced online, leaving people around the world astonished. The reason for their surprise was an uncanny resemblance captured on the screen to that of a deceased 2-year-old girl who was buried in Las Cruces Cemetery. Faviola Nova Rodriguez is buried at the Masonic Cemetery on Compress Road in Las Cruces, where a stone angel wraps her arms around a heart-shaped headstone that reads, in part, "Forever in my heart, Mommy." Her headstone is surrounded by teal, pink, purple, and white flowers, yellow sunflowers, a baby doll dressed in purple pajamas, a lantern, and other toys. Steps away from Faviola's burial site is the gravesite of James Bustamante, who died on November 23, 2019. His headstone is surrounded by flowers and lights that turn on when the sun sets. The Bustamante family discovered that their son's gravesite was being tampered with earlier this year. To address this upsetting situation, they took proactive measures by setting up a game camera on a nearby tree, aimed towards their son's resting place. Their objective was to gather proof of the person they suspected of causing their son's demise, as they believed this individual was also defacing his grave. At approximately 9:15 p.m. on June 1, a sudden and unexpected guest was caught on camera. A young girl who looked to be around the same age as Faviola now, adorned with black, coiled, and curly hair. She stayed for a brief period at Bustamante's burial site before disappearing from the camera's frame. Soon after, a vehicle drove past the area. The individuals who reviewed the footage promptly notified the authorities, suspecting a child loss scenario. A worker reportedly told the family, "We know that little girl," and showed them where she was buried. The little girl's mother, Sandra Gonzalez, had reportedly alerted the graveyard owners to be on the lookout before the images were captured, as she noticed toys and other items left in front of her daughter's grave had begun to go missing. A day after the family went to cemetery owners with the images, they happened to run into Gonzalez while she was visiting her daughter's grave. Upon checking the footage, Gonzalez burst into tears when she saw the photos because she knew instantly that the little girl was Faviola. According to Gonzalez, "I know that is my daughter. I guess that was like our sign that she's still here with us and that she's still doing God's work. And to me, I believe she made herself seen because she's on a mission right now to be heard. Everything that's going on with the trial. I believe she's trying to do what's right." The two families have since become close. Gonzalez then shared the cemetery camera photos and her story of seeking justice in a social media post that has been widely shared and viewed. In her post, Gonzalez writes that there's not an ounce of her that doubts the child in the photos is Faviola, because it looks like her head to toe, from her hair to her clothes and chanclas. Gonzalez writes, using a Spanish term for flip-flop shoes. Conclusion. As we conclude our video, the video has raised many questions about life after death. If we look into the story from a scientific point of view, then based on experts' opinions, it is plausible that these ghostly apparitions may be attributed to environmental factors, such as electromagnetic fields or infrasound, which can affect our perceptions and create illusions. But contrary to the scientific explanations, many believe that these apparitions are manifestations of spirits lingering in the earthly realm, seeking closure or delivering messages to the living. In short, whether or not it is her ghost, The video has sparked a debate about life after death and the possibility of spirits returning to the world of the living. So what are your views on this apparition? What do you think? Are these apparitions mere figments of our imagination? Or could they be glimpses into the unknown realms beyond our comprehension? Thank you for watching our video. Remember to subscribe for more captivating stories that defy the limits of our understanding. Give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, embrace the mysteries that await in the shadows of the unknown. Goodbye.